Hey, welcome to Dave's Hunting, Shooting, and Bushcraft, Dave's HSB. And today, I'm going to show you how I figured out what rifle I'm going to use for deer season. And it's a choice between two, the 30-06 or the 350 Legend. Come along as we go through this little journey. All right, Dave out. Out here on the range, and hey, it's hunting season already. Deer season's a week into it, and that means rifle season will come in November, right after muzzleloader. And so this year I want to spend a little thought process into what gun am I going to use, and here's the thought process I went through. Maybe it's overcomplicated, but I wanted to be sure what I'm using and why. And so a couple things that are constant that you have to keep in mind. One, I'm hunting white-tailed deer. Two, I'm hunting in forest. Whether I hunt in Tennessee or when I go to West Virginia, or if I go to Virginia, every place I hunt, it's a forest. It's wooded land. And so visibility, the use of a rifle over 100 yards, probably not going to happen a lot for me. So that factors into the decision. You know, that's a constant. So my rifles that I use are kind of set up to reflect that. The other is the 30-30 Winchester is always in play because it just is. It's my favorite round, and the reason why I don't give it first try is because the availability of the round is so hit or miss, and sometimes it's a little pricey. So I will use it. I'm not going to know when. And my primary is going to be one of these two. And what they have in common is they're both Savages. This lower one is a Savage 110 Engage, and the Engage has to do with the Bushnell scope on it. It's got a synthetic stock, and it's chambered in 350 Legend. It's I think the barrel's 18 inches. This thing is all about shooting deer in a forest, I believe, the way it's set up. And so it's the reason that I bought it. They made another version with a Vortex scope on it, and I don't remember what its name is, but it's a Savage 110. Now, this is a Savage 110 as well. This is an old school, probably 1970s Savage 110 that is chambered in 30-06. This has been a great rifle for me, and I have enjoyed shooting it. So this year it's going to be one of these two rifles, and the things I'm going to consider are ballistics. I'm going to consider the accuracy, the availability of the ammo, the price of the ammo, and the old man factor. You could call it ergonomics, but you know, which one's easier to hold, carry, and manage in a day-long hunt. Probably not as important for a young person, but for an older person, it's pretty important. So for me, that's an important factor. So it's going to be based on those things, and at the very end, we'll do the melon factor, which I think they'll both do equally well at, but we'll give it a shot, the old melon factor. All right, so let's get it started with the discussion of the ballistics. So I don't know if you guys have ever, if you do, I enjoy shooting. I usually either shoot Remington or I shoot Winchester, and primarily I try to shoot the Winchester XP. It provides everything you need to know about the bullet you're shooting on the back. It gives you the ballistics chart. Now you can go onto the Remington and look it up as well, but you get the same thing in 30-06, and it's handy dandy. And so yeah, for deer hunting, I'd say it's probably the #1 round I've used. And I'll also throw this in, although this isn't a real factor. I have yet to shoot a deer with the 350 Legend. In fact, the one deer I shot, I didn't harvest. It got away. I'll put a link in the description to that video. very sad. And I have yet to miss on a deer with this. Every deer I've shot, I've harvested with the 30-06. That always plays in a hunter's mind to a bit. All right, ballistics. So the 350 Legend, so this is out of a 20-inch barrel, so it's going to be a little bit better than what I'm getting out of this. From the muzzle, the velocity's 2325, so 2,325 feet per second, and it's delivering energy of 1,800, I believe that's foot-pounds. All right, so the 30-06 has a velocity of 2920, 2,920 feet per second, delivering an energy of 2,839. All right, big difference, right? But you can see it. Look at the size of these rounds. 30-06 and a 350 Legend. I mean, yep, there's definitely a difference here. They're both effective cartridges. The 350 Legend, for its size, has quite a lot of velocity and power, but it's no match for the 30-06. And the thing that is in the favor of the 350 Legend for me is that at 50 yards, it's still rising an inch. At 100 yards, 1.5 inches. At 150 is where you zero, where they zeroed it on this trajectory. So for me in short range shooting, I'm not getting a lot of rise. It's going to be a fairly consistent round. Now, for the 30-06, it's zeroed at 200. At 100 yards, it has a rise of 1.8 inches. Not significant. I would imagine it can't be a whole lot off, because I've never had any problem hitting a deer with the 30-06. So, and I would anticipate the 350 Legend be the same. But all in all, I gotta say the ballistics kind of stacks up in the favor of the 30-06. All right, the next thing we're gonna look at is accuracy. So downrange, I've got two targets set up. The one on the left I'll shoot with the 350 Legend. The one on the right I'll shoot with the 30-06. I can't say Savage 110 because they're both Savage 110s. So the 30-06 is going to be on the right, 350 Legend on the left. I'll shoot the 30-06 first. The accuracy will be based on the group size. So that's what we'll look at. All right. So give me a second. I'll get that set up, and then we'll do the shooting downrange. All right, Dave out. So got the target set up downrange, and let's go ahead and shoot. So the 30-06 is going to be the one on the right, so top right. Second one. Alrighty. Now we'll do the left with the 350 Legend, also Savage 110. Now knock down a tree. 2 trees it knocked down. I don't know how it did score-wise, but the Legend's knocking down trees left and right. If you guys caught that on the camera. Not staged. That just happened. Pretty weird. Alright. Let's go check her out. Alrighty, that was the fun part of the testing. So, let's see what we got here. So this side, so this is the 350 Legend. It's got not a bad little, these two, and then one that's a little further off. So the furthest two is 1.5 inches, and this is roughly, I'd say close to, it's right at ½ an inch, but it's just on the inside of it. So these, on the 30-06, the furthest away from, it would be this one and this one, is 1.87. The closest is just over ¼ inch, so I said 0.3, maybe 0.33. So either way you go at it, because of the one flyer, the 350 Legend definitely gets the accuracy, which I gotta admit, I'm surprised. I didn't anticipate that. I really thought the 30-06 would, because I've shot a lot of 3 and 5 shot groups, and usually there's no flyer. But for whatever reason, today there was a flyer. So, you know, that's the way it goes. So, anyways, yeah. Then the other thing to think about for me, and these next two factors I think are really important in today's environment. One's the availability of the cartridge. So, let's talk about the 350 Legend. So, I do most of my bullet buying online. I don't like driving someplace and then finding out they don't have it. I find that really frustrating. Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops have let me down way too many times. So I won't do it. I prefer just to order online, and so far I've been fairly successful. So I checked for 350 Legend. I went to Sportsman's Guide, I went to Cabela's, and I went to Midway USA. On Sportsman's Guide, they only had one cartridge available, and it was a heavy subsonic, 250 grain subsonic round. It's to use with a silencer. I'm not set up for a silencer, so it wasn't really for me. But Cabela's had 6 of them, so if Cabela's has 6 of them, that says a lot. And then Midway USA had 6 available as well. And the variety you saw at both Cabela's and Midway, so they each had 350 Legend that was like a target round, but then they also had like 170 grain, 150 grain. I like to shoot 150 grain, but I'm not married to it. So a variety of grains. For the 30-06, I went to Sportsman's Guide, and there was 6 available, and all different kinds of you had Remington Core-Lock, you had the Winchester X, and in a variety of grains, 165, 150, 170. So anyway, a variety. Midway USA had 47 different varieties of 30-06. I didn't look at Cabela's after I saw Midway. 30-06 is really available. And during most of the pandemic, for the most part, I could get 30-06. And it spiked up for a little bit in price. But it's one of the reasons why I went back to shooting 30-06. I had been shooting only 30-30, but the availability of the 30-30 round is just, it went nuts. And still is kind of nuts at times. There's times during this year you couldn't find it anywhere. Showing up a little bit now during hunting season. It's coming up. Alright, so availability, I'm going to give it to the 30-06. 350 Legend's fairly available. Not quite as available as the 30-06. It's almost a tie, though, because it was at every store I checked. There's other stores I checked. So, I don't know. It's how you look at it. if you want a wide variety of grains and choices, 30-06 is going to be the most available. If you just want availability and be able to get a round, they both can do that. So, I don't know. Maybe a little bit for the 30-06 in that run. All right, then price. So, the high price that I saw for the 30-06 was at Sportsman's Guide for the Winchester X, and this is the 30-06, was $36.09 for 20 rounds. The low was $28.49, and that was Remington Core Lock. That was at Sportsman's Guide. At Midway USA, they had a low of $29.99, and their high was up to like $40-some. Anyway, definitely Sportsman's Guide had the lower price. So let's talk 350 Legend. At Sportsman's Guide, there were one box of Subsonics, 20 rounds for $31.24. Cabela's had them, but they were pricey. $39.99. Winchester XP 150 grain. Just what I'm shooting right now, this round. Box of 20 was $40, so $2 a round. Midway USA had Hornady Whitetail for only $26.99, which I am going to order some when I get back home. So yeah, $26.99. So price on my narrow scope of what I looked at, I'm going to give it to right now to the 350 Legend. The price was a little bit lower than the 30-06, but you had to shop around. If you just wanted to hit a spot, chances are you're going to find a 30-06 cheaper than a 350 Legend. At least that's what I found. But the low price I found of any of the rounds was the 350 Legend. So I don't know. We'll give a half a tick to that. They kind of balance each other then, really. Availability, half a tick to the 30-06, and then half a tick to price to the 350 Legend. So we'll do it like that. All right. So the last thing to look at is the old man factor, and we'll head over to the barn to do that. Get a good weight on these. All right, we'll be back here in just a minute. Dave out. Well, it'll be more than a minute. For me, it's going to be like 30 minutes to lug all this stuff, move all the cameras. For you, it'll be like a second. Hey, one of the important factors to think about, you choose your hunting weapon. You know, what are you going to shoot? What's your rifle going to be? Well, there's a lot of them, but one of them for me as an older person is the weight. So let's do a quick check. A younger person, probably not as big a deal, but for me, so this is my 30-06. Try not to put any, but it's roughly, let's say, hovering right around 8 pounds. It's got a full wood stock. I mean, this is the old school 30-06. That's a Savage 110, 30-06. Here's a Savage 110 with a synthetic stock in 350 Legend, and it is right around 7 pounds. So about a pound difference. Is that huge? Is that a huge difference? If you're only hunting one day with that rifle, probably not. But if it's you're going for a week and every day you're carrying that rifle and you're hiking through the woods, that pound's going to make a difference. At least it is for me, somebody a little bit older. Hopefully you can read all these. Ballistics, here's the 30-06 accuracy, here's the 350 Legend. Availability ammo, half a point for 30-06. Cost of ammo, half a point for 350 Legend. Old man factor. So the 350 Legend weighs 1 pound less than the 30-06. Not a whole lot, But in a day of hunting, going up and down trees and such, it's a factor. If you're an old man. Young person, it's not. Given all that, 350 Legend, 2.5, 30-06, 1.5. So, there you have it, folks. What's Dave going to be hunting with this year? Primarily this 350 Legend. And hopefully, I'm successful. Hey, so we just went through the analytics. Now it's time for melon. Let's see what they do to some melons. All right, hold on. We'll walk on down there. Dave out. I'm just going to lean up against the tree here. Well, I'm not leaning because he's as a rest. One on the left, I'm going to shoot the 30 or 350 Legend. One on the right. Hopefully I hit it. I only got one bullet. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Well, I just took care of that one. Let me go grab that other one. Give the 30-06 a chance. Watermelon time part 2. I believe that took care of it. So that was a little bit fun with each of the guns. Food for the animals out here. And hey, I enjoyed that. No doubt, both these weapons, both these calibers can take down a deer. It's a matter of what's right for you. And maybe you don't go through the same thought process, but maybe you do. Maybe it's slug gun versus a rifle. And for me, there's no doubt there. I'm going with the rifle. I'd toss that slug gun out the window. But some people swear by a slug gun. If you find this helpful, that's cool. And I do appreciate you watching. Dave out. Hey, my pointing arrow, like that, in honor of it's archery season. Another old man factor is that crossbow really expands archery out to a lot more folks, and I'm thankful for that. I appreciate you tuning in. Like I always say, make kindness your business. If Lillie was here, she would say, hey, thanks for tuning in. She stayed home because I did some hunting, and she doesn't do so well alone while I'm out hunting. Not that she tears anything up, she just gets lonely. And so at least at home she's around people. So anyway, she'll be back next time. And if she was here though, she'd say, make kindness your business, do something kind for somebody. All it takes is a minute of kindness, and it can really change another person's day. So I encourage you to do that. Thanks for tuning in. Dave out.